Kat Madwell, L2, Madwell, Kolat, Bikeda Long Team, Jolo Joboy. Unuba, Ananga, Kutoje, Agriculture, Epanic, Nanga, Nichia, America, Unuba, Ananga, Kutoje, Agriculture, Epanic, Nanga, Nichia, America, Unuba, Ananga, Kutoje, Agriculture, Epanic, Nanga, Nichia, America, Thon will it work? Preventing and repent, but on what he said, America. Thon will it work? Preventing and repent, but on any, he said, America.
Hello guys, greeting, Kudwala Anguk, brother Anguk. Greeting my brother. I will send you the link there so you can join the show. Kudwala book. Why don't more happy Sunday, guys? Share the video. Anguk, I from green card tapping. So if you want to join us, so you're welcome.
Unuwa anangwa kutoje Regale Epani kandi mangwa Nichera merkai Kantowo Unuwa anangwa kutoje Regale Epani kandi mangwa Nichera merkai Kantowo Thon will it work Preventing and the pain But I'm wanting Nichera merkai Kantowo Thon will it work
Thank you, everybody. Happy Sunday. Yeah, welcome to Lake State Media. My name is Medin Mujag. I'm one of the Lake State Media hosts. For those of you tuning in, thank you. Share the video. Our topic, we are about to interview one of the our guests for today. His name is Thon Ater. He's in South Sudan, so he's running his interesting in Ministry of Education in Lake State. So he is coming to our media today so we can interview him. So what I will do is I will call him on Messenger. As you guys know that the network there in Juba is really bad. So I'm going to call him on Messenger so that he can join us and put him on the full screen. So that's the show that we are going. Before I bring my guests, Dr. Denging, thank you for turning in. So before I do that, let us do the, for the breaking news that one of the horrible incident happened in Juba today, yesterday actually, Saturday, that killed one of the 3 children that was killed. Was heartbreaking in cold blood. So for behalf of Lake State Media, we send our heartfelt condolences and prayers to the family. That killing is really heartbreaking. So this is able, is not a human that can do such a thing to the young kid like that. So for that, if you want to put some of the comment about that before I call our guest, that would be fine. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Ding. Can you hear me?
No, sorry. Just calling. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, let me start.
Ready, public music with a chain. Police are like it.
Hello, so you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, okay, good. So now I bring you up on the screen. So second. Yeah, we can hear you, Gabriel. Hang on. Can you see?
Can you hear me, Abraham?
Yeah. Okay, Thon, can you hear me? Good. So you welcome Gabriel Thon Art. So thank you for the. I know it's kind of late there in Juba. So thank you for coming in live right now on the screen, and everybody seeing you. So I'm here with one of my colleagues. I think you know him, but he know you too. So his name is Dr. Dengding. He was a teacher when we were in Kakuma. Dr. Dengding, I think you know him. If you don't know him, you know his father. In Kakuma Refugee Camp, he was the director of education in Old Campbell Gumuton. So I think you know him very well.
Yeah, yep, I do.
Everybody know him. So for today, the reason why he came in, our guest, the reason why Gabriel Gumton came to our landscape yesterday is for interview him because he's interesting. He's running. He's one of the candidates, right? Ministry of Education and Welfare in Lake State. So Gabriel Thon, welcome to Lake State Media. I will give you a floor. Introduce yourself, who you are and where you at and what you are doing. Yeah, Thon.
Okay. Thank you very much, the board of directors for Lake State Media in Australia or in US. I highly appreciate you for this interview. So I thank you, all the staff in the media of there in your location. So actually, as a Minister of Education and Social Welfare in Eastern in Lake State, actually, my objective of the Ministry for Education is to make sure that I provide present, future, and talent for the education in the Lake State. As a Minister for Education and Social Welfare, I would like to encourage equal opportunities and equal education for all in the Lake State. And I would like the governor to give me that opportunity to give services, to deliver the services to the people of Lagos State in general. As a contestant Minister for Education and Social Welfare, I would like to make an education system which provide every young person with a lifelong skill, values, self-reliant, to be independent, and to offer a wide variety of higher education and training opportunities to enable everyone to get ahead of life and develop themselves professionally. These are core values I'm supposed to do as a minister in the Lagos State government, and also to continue to formulate and implement effective policies on education and employment, working close with the stakeholders in the field of education. Generally, this is the core value I should do as a Minister of Education. Well, as a Minister of Education, Youth and Sport and Information, every child has a right to education, to learn and to have knowledge, skill, to pertain in the education system. The statement vision. A nation is to be empowered by a dynamic system of education so that every child has a right to education system in the country. The mission statement is to provide quality care and education system in innovative and enabling environment, therefore creating social conscious and productive education. Priorities and policies to the education, the child and youth development, child care and protection, lifelong learning, and good governance and training stakeholders engagement, and to provide new education and new technology of e-learning to the education system and to the students and to the learners in different parts of the Lagos State. So as a youth, I would like the education system to be developed in an amicable way.
Before we and what you can do if as you know that South Sudan is very high. So and also we all know that Lagos State is one of the states that we have a good before. Lagos State is one of the places that they are old and the education system is really low. So if you become a Ministry of Education, what you will do differently with to bring education to the people.
Actually, as a new minister, you have to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Exactly, as a new minister, you have the mission, you have the objective and the mission, and the vision to transform the education into the current education system into a more effective and result-oriented and competitive and equally accessible system to the education, and to present the public about the complete reforms of the education system in accordance with the school graduation and other past event activities concerning the education system.
Okay, good. So let me move to the next question, which is very critical. Again, it's not only Lagos State, in all South Sudan. A girl they don't go to school. Mostly for this special girl education is very important, so we can educate young girls, so provide to go to school. And our culture and norm, most of people they advantage girls go to school simply. But as the new generation now, if you become a Ministry of Education, what can you do to educate girls? So now we are talking about girl education.
Yeah, actually, as a Minister of Education, I have to introduce new laws and new reforms to the education system, so that all the girls are supposed to go to school and avoid early marriages to girls, to young girls, and avoid them not to attend the school system. And young ladies are the backbone of this country. They are participating well in the country. They are supposed to be allowed not only to be kept for wealth, because in our traditional marriage, only we keep women for marriages, but we don't give them chance to be educated. Women or young girls is very important in our current future generation to come ahead. So actually, girls' education is very important, because we should allow our girls to attend school. Even more girls are performing well more than men in their lifestyle.
Okay, thank you, Gabriel, Dr. Deng. I will give this chance to you so you can ask our guests.
Well, thank you very much, Medit, and thank you, our guest, Thon Gumnok. I congratulate you on your move to campaign to become Minister of Lake State.
Okay. Then, if you can hear me yourself.
Yes, I do.
I'm hearing you.
No, is Deng. Deng, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I did. You don't hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Thon, for coming to the
Yes,
show.
go ahead,
and
go ahead.
also
Hear me. Because you
Okay.
are Dr. Deng. Go ahead.
Okay, I congratulate you on the move to become the Minister of Lake State. This is a very important ministry in the government, in any type of government, and not just government, also for the nation. I have heard your plan for becoming a minister. Given the fact that South Sudan has not been using one curriculum, it has been using different curriculum, including Kenya, Uganda, Sudan, all Sudan, and then even the United States and United Kingdom. They have been using all these different types of curriculum. Okay. As a Minister of Lagos State, Minister of Education in Lagos State, how will you differently use curriculum, and what type of curriculum will you use? This is the question number one. Question number two, you talk about educational system. And educational system also in South Sudan is mixed. There are different types. There's Kenya, there's Uganda. So what type of educational system are you going to use? Are you going to use 633, or are you going to use 844, or are you going to use what? Because this is very confusing in South Sudan. Okay. That is the second question, and I will ask more questions later on. Thank you.
Well, okay, well, to answer Dr. Deng, the question number one, actually about the system of education, we are using all Sudan system of education and East Africa system of education. This is the system we are using in the Republic of Thon. Actually, when we are coming to the curriculum of the country in terms of education system, we are using 844 system we are using. But before early, we were using Sudan system of education, which is 833. 833, 8 years in primary school, and then 3 years in secondary school, and 3 years in university. But now the curriculum is changed to 844, which is South Africa system, curriculum of education system, whereby we have 844, which is 8 years in primary 8, and 4 years in the school, in secondary education, and 4 years in university. As for the policy and the system of education worldwide.
Yeah, well, but
Yes,
the difference between
we are
sorry.
using, yes.
Well, the difference between the system and
Yeah,
curriculum
go
is a
ahead,
little bit mixed
Ater
here.
today.
Yeah, the difference between curriculum and system is a little bit mixed right here. You mentioned that you are using all Sudan system and then some Kenya system. That's quite clear. There's so many systems anyway being used in South Sudan. But curriculum is nothing to do with system. Curriculum is an instruction. What kind of methodology? What kind of instructions are you going to teach students? See, there are a mix of different types of systems. So, and that's what actually confused a lot of students in South Sudan, and that confused teachers also in South Sudan. So, as a minister of education, how would you improve this one? Totally different from what is existing, because what is existing right now does not provide a quality of education, and a curriculum is supposed to provide a quality of education to children. Thank you.
Yes, come again, Dr. Deng. Network is interrupting. Come again. Yeah, let him repeat himself again.
Oh,
Network is
okay. You
cutting
didn't.
us.
Oh, okay. My question was curriculum. Oh, curricula in South Sudan is mixed, and you need to pick one in order for you to provide quality of education to children. That includes effective instructions. That includes proper training for teachers, and that includes also type of examinations. All of this come through a better and well-developed curriculum. So how would you develop a better curriculum differently from what you have existing right now in South Sudan? Because what we have in South Sudan right now does not provide a quality education. We needed to see a quality education in South Sudan. To do that, you have to have a better quality curriculum in your state. How would you do that differently?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, we are supposed to use, as a Minister of Education, I'm supposed to introduce the curriculum, which is applicable in the country, because the education system is supposed to use the curriculum, which is vital to the system and the policy and the criteria of the education, but not to use different education curriculum like all Sudan. We cannot use. You are right, Dr. Deng, because in South Sudan we are using different for East Africa, for Sudan, all Sudan system, and for South Sudan. But actually, we are supposed to use this curriculum, for 844 of East Africa, because as a main language now in South Sudan, is English. We have to instruct children in their school using English language. Second language is Arabic. Sorry. So, education system, we have several instructions, as I explained it. So those curriculum in South Sudan, we are using 844 in secondary school, in elementary school, and in colleges and in universities. We are using 844 system of East Africa. We have a combined curriculum in South Sudan.
Do you have another question?
Yeah, okay. My last question is what you mentioned about e-learning. E-learning system.
Before audio watching, his name is okay.
Yes. Pardon? Pardon, Dr. Dan?
So e-learning.
Am I getting clear your question?
Oh, yeah, my question was
e-learning.
Okay, you mentioned about e-learning system, and given situations right now in our country, we have no finance. Okay, there's no finance that you can develop e-learning system in the country. In order for you to develop e-learning, you must have, a present network, is very strong network, and also materials that a student will use to do e-learning, and they need training. Teachers also need training. Where will you get budget to implement e-learning system in Lake State? Thank you. That's my last question.
Okay. Well, actually, you are right, Dr. Brown. Okay. Actually, e-learning system is not applicable in South Sudan, and it's not vital because the e-learning need introduction of technology, new technology, and good networking facilities in the country, so that the e-learning can be introduced. Because now e-learning cannot work because of network. Even now, you can experience we are facing difficulty now on this live video interview with the Lake media, with Lake State media. As you can experience now, we are having a network problem, interruption. So e-learning, you need to have internet services that can provide the e-learning in a good manner, whereby all the students are to be capable and to be taught by those who having careers in Bachelor of Computer Science and Marketing. So actually, e-learning system cannot be applicable in South Sudan. Likewise, Mama Janet, the First Lady of Uganda, was trying to introduce, but it is not applicable because of networking. And due to this current situation of coronavirus, I think students were allowed to learn in their homes using e-learning and those online and distance learning programs, but they cannot work because of the current situation.
Okay, thank you.
So actually, e-learning is good with the modern countries, whereby you have it and enough electricity, enough networking, whereby you can introduce e-learning.
Brother, question Brackett. He asking you what will you do? The question is regarding about presidency. Like the teachers can, pregnancy girls, so they mostly. So what is your role? What can you do for this incident if you become a ministry? What can you do for the teenager or the teachers who are pregnant girls in school?
Okay. Actually, when you there are vital, there are those virtual leftist laws which abide student, and there are code of conduct in the school whereby if a teacher is pregnant or a young girl, uh, he has to be brought to the law, to be account, and face the justice why the person impregnate the young girl. And if it is a boy, the parents are held accountable for the pregnancy of the young girl in the school. And we don't encourage pregnancies in the school. Actually, we are supposed to introduce those boarding school for girls and boarding school for boys, whereby this system of impregnating young girls in the school is eliminated. And actually, we said earlier that we are supposed to encourage young girls to get education. They have the right to education, health child education. So in Lagos State. So as people, many people, young people or youth, they are used to the village life, whereby some of them are in cattle camps, some of them are living in towns and in cities, and they are not able to go to school due to the environmental factors. So, as a new Minister of Education upcoming, then I should introduce some rules and regulations and code of conduct in the school system, whereby we shall make a reform of the education.
Okay, thank you. We have one of our colleague here, Brother Deng Kamis Grang is here, so I can give him a floor question to ask you. Brother Deng Kamis, welcome to Lagos State Media. I will give this to you, so to ask our guests.
Thank you, Brother Madid and Dr. Ding Ding and Thon, Thon the candidate. Thank you all and the viewers. I'm actually try to just listen a little bit, but I have one question uh,
Minister
for
for
brother. If you can hear me that good. I think the question that was asked by one of the viewers here is not as specific. I don't think you have the right answer for it because there is a different type of education and it's actually running for the general education in the state, which is higher education and the high school. It depend on a school level whether those who are in college, they not count as a crime if the teacher happen to pregnant the the lady there. So if they are not under age, then that question cannot be relevant. Sometime uh, that's what I can say. But my question is here to my brother. Yes, I see you answering Dr. Deng Ding question about the curriculum that has been used in South Sudan. But to me, it's the system, the Jordan system in the country work for it. So it's not only you going to set up your own curriculum in the state. So for me, my question is specific. What areas of education that you have observed that lack of ability you want to change? What areas of education are you targeting to go and change when you become a minister of education? Because we cannot talk about your own education in the country, but maybe you are a candidate and you are targeting some area that you know that you want to change. What areas are you targeting? are you going to change if you become a minister of education? I think the network.
Yeah, network is better. Okay.
The
Gabriel
network
Thon,
is so
he's
bad.
asking you. Okay, he's asking you what kind. He's asking you what kind of. He's asking you what kind of area you want to target it if you when you become a minister of education.
So what areas are you targeting to change? To change if you become a minister of education? Because there's, if you running for something, you know there's some area that lack of accountabilities and development.
Yeah, actually, the targets, yeah, the schools, the set proper teaching method, proper provision of education facilities, and then a renovation of classes or places that has no actually education centers or the education.
Okay. Yeah, his network pro. Okay, guys.
Abu Jamal Awa European League State by Lecon Result. Abu Jamal Awa
Okay, guys. We have his network is bad, so it's cut off. And we know that we have a network issues in Juba down there. Why? So we welcome, brother. Emmanuel Major, welcome to the state, brother. How are you doing? So let me try to bring him back, but I don't know if the network still going to be able to bring him back.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yes. So how you doing? What do you think about Gabriel Thon about his willing to run for the office and the way he talked? Because we try to hear from these our candidates that we want to run position in Lake State. So the network now is a big factor. So what do you think about what he's talking about?
Okay, you asking me, brother?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Now look here. We are at the formative stage. The formative stage is where we are trying to create a system. It is unfortunate that I have had most of my brothers, the learned colleagues, like Dr. Ding, they're asking about what system he has. You know, we are beginning.
Mm.
It is about the ability and the interest of the person who is willing to go and change, to bring, not even change, to try to do something from the beginning, you know, and to learn. The better thing is to give him education and try to tell him, advise him that this is a system or this is the curriculum that is better. Because now when you ask somebody about the curriculum that is there on the ground, it's not there. There's no the curriculums that are there, like in Sudan now, like you said before, there's Uganda system that people are using, which is 7, 4, 2, 4. That's British system. Now, when you come to there's a 4, there's 8, 4, 4 system. And then when you go to Khartoum also, they have 8, 3, 5. And all these systems are applicable. South Sudan is trying now to develop a system of education that they can apply it. And then they have adopted what they call 8-4-4 system, which Kenya is now trying to abandon. Kenya now has changed to another system, you see. So when you say what system this guy is using or applying, I don't think that question is not applicable. But what is applicable there is enthusiasm and his willingness to go and promote a system that is being adopted by the government. Because he cannot have a system. He's an individual. How can an individual have, create a system? The system, the overall system will be created by the government. But the issue here is for him to go and promote education. Make girls go to school. Yan mafivit bagot fil bed. Let all boys go to school. Mafiwalet egot fil bed. You see, this is the real issue here that we're talking about. Dr. Ding is irrelevant in this context. You know, education can be applied based on the context of where it is applicable. And I just want to tell them, if you go now even to your place in a will, people are using a Shumal system. So let's ask questions that are relevant. What we need from our brother is his enthusiasm, his ability. Will he go and promote? Will he go and encourage? Will he go and empower the people on the grassroots to go to school? Will he go and make sure that early marriage is terminated for the young girls to go to school? This is a relevant question that you can use. Yeah, when you ask about the system you should ask the Ministry of Higher Education. The people who cannot formulate those systems. Yeah? So you are being far away irrelevant with your questions, Dr. Ding.
Can I, my brother, Emmanuel, Major. I think what we are doing here, just let's leave our attacking ourselves. Why don't we just go back to if our brother can be able to come back, we can help him. What he's applying for a job, and there is some area that he's actually looking for to go and change. If you know, instead of focus on Deng himself, why don't we just focus on our brother who is actually targeting to bring some change? The change it doesn't. The change is translated a different way. And how you talking about the heirloom marriage in South Sudan? That has to be encouraged. We don't have to terminate it, but we have higher education have to encourage the community how to bring the children to school, how to avoid heirloom marriage in the country. That's it's not actually it's not going to be forced on the people, but we have to encourage them. That's the job of Minister of Education. So he's going to teach the whole community or the whole state how to bring the formal education to everybody next door.
Hello?
So why don't we just leave the question out if it is not relevant? Let's forget about it and move on.
Okay, if the guest is available now in the studio.
Yeah, we are. You
Yeah, I'm
hear
about
me?
to bring him. He's still not yet. I'm about to bring him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to bring him. I'm about to bring him. The connection is bad. As you guys can know, that network in Juba is real bad. It's terrible. Yes, guys, I agree with you guys because you know, the curriculum is very important, but they don't have their own curriculum. They are using Northern Sudan curriculum or East African curriculum. So okay, Gabriel, I'm calling you now. Okay, guys, I'm calling him again. Hello, Gabriel, can you hear me? Hello? Gabriel, can you hear me? Okay, you guys still go ahead and sit down a little while we have difficulties here. So go ahead, guys. Yes, henceforth that
Yeah, I
South
think that
Sudan
the
is using
network
both
is
like
trying to covering everybody.
yeah.
Emmanuel, Major,
Emmanuel, the network is frozen too. Okay.
Major, you're going out.
Okay, let me call him back again. Then can you guys hear me good, right? Okay. Hello, Gabriel Thon, can you hear me? Hello. Thon, can you hear me? Okay, we have
Network,
network issues over there.
network is not good. It don't work that good in South Sudan this time at night time. I don't know.
Anyhow, if we are not able to bring him back, so let us brainstorm about what we are talking about because this is a good topic actually. So we can talk about education, very important. So we have. Hello, Thon, can you hear me?
Sorry.
Hello, Thon, can you hear me? Okay. As we know, yeah, the connection is bad. I'm not getting it. So so have we know that the education in South Sudan is we have like a system that South Sudan are using like East Africa or Arab, right? Northern Sudan curriculum. And this is a very important, when we talk about curriculum, it's very important that we see what, and this is the question going to you, Emmanuel, and the rest. Can South Sudan have their own curriculum instead of using other country curriculum like in East Africa curriculum or Northern Sudan curriculum? Can South Sudan can build their own, can have their, for example, like history book. Can South Sudan have that instead of using Africa as a whole history book or Northern Sudan history book? Can we have our own? So go ahead, Emmanuel. That question goes to you.
I think Emmanuel network is dying off.
Uh,
Well, can I make some comment about that?
yeah, go ahead, Dr. Ding. While I'm bringing
Oh, the
this,
phone is
bring him.
the phone is ringing.
I'm calling him. Okay, go ahead, Dr. Ding. There we are. Yeah.
Okay, I want you to project. Yeah, I wanted to project what Emmanuel Majur said before. What does Dr. Ding have as opposed to current system? He likes schools of thoughts. Okay, can you please project that so you can see? That's a good thing.
What is it?
There's a question he asked. What does Dr. Ding have as opposed to the current system? He lack a school of thoughts. That's with Emmanuel Majur.
Okay, let me see.
Can you get that? Because that's a very important topic anyway.
Yeah.
Or actually, you say, hello, Dr. Ding is confusing you. Curriculum defines the system.
Yeah, got it.
Yep, that one. Okay, that's a very good question. First of all, I have taught for 16 years and 18 years in education system. So, and anything to do with education system, education policy, education curriculum, is even if I miss something to know something about it, it might be maybe less than 1%. I'm not perfect. But first of all, let me correct Emmanuel. Curriculum does not define the system. Curriculum defines instruction. You can have curriculum without system. Okay? For example, when we were in Panyuduk, we did not have a school system. Okay, but we had subject to be taught. So a subject to be taught is a part of curriculum. A lesson plan is a part of curriculum. So if you use curriculum to define the system, then you are jumping the policy, and then you are jumping the expectations of the policy, whether being educational system or being public system. So curriculum does not define the system. Curriculum defines the instruction provided or given in a school. There's no confusion there. And if he has to challenge me with that, that's fine. And the question I asked the potential minister before was, what kind of curriculum is going to use? And that is an excellent question you ask. South Sudan is supposed to ask its own curriculum or curricula. Why? Simply because the curricula is developed and designed based on cultural norms, cultural values, best practices. You don't just take curriculum from somewhere and then come and adopt it, and that affects your culture. And this is what a lot of South Sudanese get confused. They believe that when we take a curriculum from somewhere, it will actually define the quality of our education system in our country. That's wrong. We have to have our own curriculum in order to define, in order to include what we need our kids to learn. For example, history of South Sudan is different from the history of the old Sudan. So if you are using the history of, if you are using a curriculum of old Sudan, then you actually eliminated the history of South Sudan. Okay, and that does not define the system. We already have the system. Like the ministers, the potential minister mentioned already that they are using 844. That's the system already. Or they are using 833. That's the system already. Okay, but a curriculum cannot exist. I mean, a system cannot exist in opposed to curriculum. Okay, because the curriculum is something that we can develop. Right? 4 of us right now, or 3 of us can sit down and think about what we can teach. That is a curriculum. But we don't have to worry about the system. So I think my brother Emmanuel Majur probably need to go back and read what it really means to be a curriculum, what is the difference between the curriculum and the system. So curriculum does not define the system. It informs the system. It informs instruction. That's the correction I want to make to that. But as your question, do we need to have our own curriculum? Yes, we do need to have our own curriculums. And one very good example is the history. One other good example is a social part of social study. For example, science, home science, business. These you can take some from others outside, but you can also develop other within, given the environment that our people have in our country. So that is what we need to do. We need to have our own curriculum. We don't need to depend on other people's curriculum.
Yeah, Dr. Dendi. Emmanuel, can you hear me now? Emmanuel Major.
Yes, I can hear you. I was trying to correct.
Okay, so I asked. Yeah. So I asked you a question before the network breakout. I was asking you about the curriculum. Can South Sudan have their own curriculum instead of using Northern Sudan curriculum or East African curriculum? For example, that example is Israel. So South Sudan is supposed to have their own history book instead of using the whole Africa or the whole Sudan, the whole Sudan when they're using that. Can we, the South Sudan, can develop our own curriculum?
Yeah, people are capable of developing our own curriculum, but it's a matter of research and time. You know, what you do, things are done scientifically. And we are living within a region in Eastern Africa. And Eastern Africa is now trying to come up with one curriculum that will define the system of education within Eastern Africa, such that when you go and look for a job, because now globalization is coming and then regionalization also is coming. So people will like Asia, East Africa. So people are working on one common system that when you graduate from Cuba, you can be able to get a job in Kenya and Uganda and likewise.
Your voice is too low. Your voice is too low, Major. We cannot hear you.
Okay, I'm talking. I was trying to connect to the computer, but it's not. But can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I was talking about the system of education, which is defined by the curriculum. And the curriculum that we are talking about, like in Eastern Africa or in East Africa, people are trying to come up with the one common system of a system of education. When you graduate in South Sudan, you can be able to get job in Kenya, you can be able to get job in Tanzania and in Uganda. This is what people are working on at the moment now. And curriculum X is a system. System is no different from the curriculum. How can you define the system? Like Dr. say, that the system and the curriculum. Curriculum actually the system by itself. And the curriculum defines the instruction. For example, if you go for 8 years private school, 4 years in secondary school, and then 4 years in university school, that's the curriculum that is defining it. Hello?
Hello, yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm calling. Yeah, go ahead.
So we are actually on the same page with the doctor, but the only problem is that it really defines the difference between the system. System is the curriculum that defines the system. And that's what I was trying to correct.
Okay. I'm trying to bring our guys back, but it's still.
Are you done, brother? Brother Emmanuel, you done or network?
Sorry, guys.
While I'm trying to bring them.
So all these systems are all working, but people come up.
We can't hear you no more.
Yeah, Emmanuel have the network issues too. So Emmanuel, we cannot hear you. Anyway, go ahead, Dengamis. I think he's having a network issues too.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Let's just keep it the way we're going to go through, and I believe we are trying to educate ourselves here. Whoever know what, that's what we needed, and that's why we have a system of education, and that's what my brother is applying, trying to put his effort on to it. So for me, I don't see any issue with the curriculum or the system. They are pretty much the same. The way we addressing them, the way we actually uh, try to teaching them. That's how our people don't understand it sometimes. Like Dengdin said it before, but we don't have to be that much critical about the system we're going to use. The system of education, the system is a general term that it can be used at any corner. So we can just say there's a system of education. That's a separate department we are talking about here. So the curriculum is a traditional. It can be used traditionally. It's a systematic. It's a programmer and classical and technology. All these things. That's what the curriculum is going. We're talking about here. So and how we implement them in the country, like Brother Dingdin is more expert on it because it's being a teacher before, but he may need some advice from me and from Madid and Emmanuel. What what we can add to that curriculum is how the higher education have to sit down and see the changes. Yes, we do have to change. Do have to change our system, but we are still behind. There are some countries that are bordering us; they are neighbors, and our children are study there. So the soon we change our curriculum, those children that are studying in our neighbors' country, they will left behind. Like Emmanuel said, Africa is trying to, or East Africa try to unite it and try to see the systematic way that they can work to bring it together. So when the student is graduated from a different country, their degree would be able to be recognized in other country systems. So that's what I can see. And let's just not take it to next level. We are here to encourage that brother of ours. If he have any potential to go and do something, okay, we have to encourage him, and he can speak up what he want to change. If we want to give him advice, okay, this is the part of the education that you're going to be changing. That's what he's running for, and he's looking for public opinion. So I see there's nothing wrong with that, and let's keep moving on and address all these issues. The problem that in South Sudan we have a limited resources, and sometimes this system need more research, and people have to we have to spend more time on it. And those who are actually who can put it together, they need financial support. Our education is we have a lack of transparency in the country, pretty much in every corner in our system. Generally, I can say it that way. So it's not education itself, but the other part of the area they are not supported. So for me, I will yield it back to you, Brother Madid and Dr. Dengding. And you can bring Emmanuel back if you want to come back. It's good to discuss sometime, but not taking. We don't have to take it away from the potential candidate and make it to be our own topic. So let's just try to associate it with what is actually intending to do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brother Dengamis. Actually, our guests, we are having a network issue, so I tried to bring them back up, but I call them, the network is not going through. Anyway, it's good. Dude, yeah, I sent the link. See that link, click that link so you can be able to come. So that is the link. So dude, yeah, the link is there. So click that link and then you can be able to join the show. Anyway, yeah, you are right that we need to focus on this issue. And this is one of the topics is very important. We need to talk. We talk about the education in South Sudan because the education system in South Sudan, it needs to be fixed. And because it's not right, South Sudan can use East African curriculum while we have our own. We can develop our own curriculum. That's a good thing. Another thing we need to talk moving forward, and that's one of the things that we need to talk about: education for girls and pregnancy for the girl. Because these are the things that we need to discuss and send this message out. Because if we change education system there, so there are the law that professor they are broken, and also girls are left behind. The girls are left behind because there's no. If we can see the percentage of education, girl education in South Sudan is very low. So this thing we need to educate our people back home so that they give a girl education they need instead of, because way back then we know that our culture knew that girls cannot go to school simply because they can stay at home, take care of family, to gathering water. Also, too, they observe that for marriage. So early marriage too is affecting the girl education. So these are the things that we need to discuss and make awareness to Sudan government and to the Ministry of Education that this system needs to be changed. South Sudan education need to be add on. Girls need to be given opportunity to go to school. Parents need educated that they allow their girls to go to school. Because the world is changing, guys. The world is changing. So we are in the 21st century. So if we do that, South Sudan need to go to follow this all the country that education system is needed to evolve. So this one that we need to discuss. We need to discuss this issue about education and how can be fixed. So because all the children in South Sudan, regardless a boy or girl, they have to be given education opportunity. So what have been said, thank you then. So let us leave the.
I'm going to go in a few minutes, Mr. Mehdi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just make my my recommendations to potential candidates, because I'm going to leave in a few minutes now. Just recommendation to him. I hope he's listening. Can I do that?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Go ahead.
I think I'm going to advise Thon for now to focus on a curriculum, because I know that there are different type of system in South Sudan, and system is not really a big deal. You know, any schools can pick any system. You can go with 844, you can go with 833, you can go with 634. It's not really a big deal. Okay, the big deal in the education to provide a quality of education is a curriculum. Okay, so I want you to focus on what types of curriculums going to develop. And curriculums include the subject matter, it includes lesson plans, it includes a scheme of work, it includes professional teachers training. These are what well components, definitions of curriculums. So you don't have to relate it to an educational system. So I strongly advise him to focus on how he's going to develop. A curriculum can be developed, by a group of people. You don't have to wait. Okay. So I will strongly advise him to go and develop a curriculum that would address all the needs, the quality of education, okay, in Lake State, not only just in Lake State, okay, but also across the country. So because when one system works well in one state, it will also help other states. So I think it is very important for him. Okay.
Hello.
It is.
Abraham.
On Emmanuel, hold on, Emmanuel. Dr. Dengin is speaking.
So yeah, that's my advice to the potential candidate. Yeah, that's my advice to potential candidates. So let me focus on the curriculum, because now curriculum is the one that's confusing in South Sudan. Very, very confusing. Even when we used our school back then in my village, it's very confusing. So you have to focus on curriculums. I truly encourage him. Now, coming to girl pregnancy, there is always educational policy, educational law. Okay, if you impregnate a girl, there must be penalty, and that associated with the law of the state, the law of the federal. So I don't think he can do anything apart from the law given in the country. So teachers are well trained. That's why it is very important to train teachers. Teachers are well trained to be well aware that their jobs is not just to educate children, but also to protect them. One of the protection is not is messing up with girls. I mean, dating girls in school is unlawful. It is a part of a curriculum. It's a part of what we call professional development. So that one is need to be imposed in South Sudan. So I will stop right there because I have another show. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, and I hope you will listen to my advice. And if he wants, he can contact me, and I can shoot him email, and we can talk from there. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Dengi. I will pass that message to you. Dude. Yes. One couple said, dude. Go ahead.
Before dude, I have a question, brother Madid. Is brother the potential candidate, is he running with somebody else or just only him? Because we're not trying to be biased here.
Yeah, there are some people running with him. Yeah, there are people who did that position. Yeah, he have running mate.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, brother, dude.
Yeah, go ahead.
Your voice is down. You're still low.
It's still low.
Your voice still down.
No, we cannot hear you. It's still, we cannot hear you. Try to log back out and log back on, so to see if you can try your phone. So so dude, if you can hear me, try to log out and log back on and check your audio. Okay, thank you. While we were waiting for dude, Emmanuel, go ahead. Emmanuel, unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you can hear me. You can hear me now.
Yes, we can. Yep. Okay. Okay, I will log you out. Yeah, go ahead, Manuel.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're good, brother. We hear you.
Yeah.
But try to put it up a little bit.
Well, okay, that's good. Now the issue, like Madid, you talked about it, and I also highlighted before. Yeah, yeah. You have highlighted it before, and I even talked about it. I had a problem with the connection. Now I'm back. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Manuel. I think you have another. You have. I don't know. It's cutting off. So can you hear me? Okay. So
Let me put up another.
I think that's a internet connection.
yeah, but we
That was
can hear you
internet.
fine, Emmanuel. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. But I can hear you now clearly. Yeah. So
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you too. Go ahead. Yeah, we can hear you.
yeah, because I had a problem with the system to reconnect before. That's why I took long to come back. Internet connection. Yeah, I was even hearing myself talking again. Yeah. I'm going again now. So the issue is in South Sudan.
I
Emmanuel,
can't
go
hear
ahead.
him
We
no
can
more.
go ahead. You can even not hear him either. Yeah, the network over there is very bad. Emmanuel, can you try to try your phone again? Emmanuel, can you hear me? Try your phone again and come back.
Try to turn it off and turn it back on, Emmanuel. That will reboot the system. So yes, before they coming, I think they are hearing us. Dude,
Dude, can you hear me now?
you can do it back here, man.
Let
Hey,
me
you
try.
try to put on tell on nyai. No, now you're good. Talk, say something. You're good now.
Now, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Good. Yeah. Yes, we can hear you now. Yeah, good. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So there is an echo. Hold on. I hear an echo. I don't know why. What is happening?
No, you go now. You're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
Okay, Abraham, I did thank you for letting me come back. This is the first time I have attended your video, and I've been watching since you open it. And actually, Lagos State media is one of the good media that a lot of people attend to it. Okay.
Dude, we can hear you. Can you have any other open advisor? Long that in your phone or anything? But you good. You can hear. We can hear you.
How about now? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, now it's good.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm sorry. I was hearing the echo, and the word that I have already said, I come back and hear it again while I'm talking. That's why I was kind of quiet. Actually, Madit, thank you for your show, and I also appreciate that you brought me into there. This is the first time I have attended it. But the reason I have just come in is just to give a question to the candidates. But the question already was provided, but it's kind of like a confusion between the education system and the education curriculums, of which we've made a debate of it until the candidates has gone without hearing what we really want to hear from them. First of all, Dr. Deng Ding already stated, and he said it clearly. When we talk about curriculum, according to what I know or what some people may know, curriculum is what cannot be really weighed. I mean, let's say the education system is provided by the government. The government says the education system is this and such and such. Would say, okay, you have to finish from primary 1 to primary 8. And then after primary 8, you go to high school. When you finish high school, you go to college. Finishing college or you don't finish college, that's up to you. But it is a responsibility of the school board or the state to say, you know what, at my school, these are the lessons that I want to teach. This is the summary that I want to give to the student. For example, if we said, I heard some people already say, we took the curriculum from East Africa. That could not be real appropriate, because if we said we take curriculum from East African countries or from other countries, that means, are we in South Sudan going to teach Swahili in our country? Either because if we accept that we take the curriculum, that means we take all the lessons that are taught in Kenya. Are we going to take Swahili to be taught in South Sudan, leaving aside other language, other dialects, or other Arabic that known for us already? We speak Arabic. That's when the confusion of a curriculum becoming, like Majur says. Majur say that Dr. Deng Ding confused himself. But what I could see, he was the one that confused himself. Because, for example, curriculum would say this way: we talk about girl being pregnant in the school. That's a part of curriculum. In a part of curriculum, a school would say, we bring in the curriculum says, now the girl has to be, there is what sex education. There is a sex education lesson given in the school. Sex education that will teach kids, that will teach all the students how to use a condom, what type of medicine, what type of preventative could be used at the school so the girl will never get pregnant and finish at school. That's a part of curriculum. It is the lesson that add to the curriculum to be taught to the student so they be aware. Should the girl then made herself to be pregnant, a girl being realized, okay, she now has a baby, that's the policy of the school to expel that student from school, not to go to school again. She may then have to attend the adult school. Or women adult school is as part of the system that's been provided, where you should have a primary, we should have a college, and we should have a technical school, or we should have adult school for somebody dropped out from school. But curriculum is what put everybody together. Curriculum is what makes students choose, saying, okay, you know what, I want to attend this school because this school got curriculum. It got good way of teaching what are the lessons that are taught. There are some schools says, you know what, in my school, I'm going to teach Arabic, I'm going to teach Swahili, I'm going to teach this language, the way they teach the chemistry, the way they teach the math, and other subjects. That's what become as a curriculum. And curriculum is the board of education that should set and put it together and say, this is what we need to be taught. We need to teach our students. This is what makes the school the strongest. What doesn't make the school to be called, it have a very good curriculums that really make the strongest school to compete with other schools. So if we said that we take, like Majur said, or we take the school curriculum from Kenya or from East Africa, that's totally be a wrong thing. That means what we took from East Africa is the education system. Is the education system of taking, let's say you have to go from grade 1 up to grade 8. And then when you grade 8, you take the final exam to attend a high school, which is from grade 1 again to grade 4, which is Form 4 in Kenya. And then when you finish Form 4, now you are qualified to either go to college for 2 years or to either go to for university. That's the education system. But the curriculum is totally different from the education system. It is the design of the school itself. It is the design of the state. And that's the question we were asking the candidate. What type of the school curriculum you're going to provide in Lagos State? Are you going to debate the federal government that in Lagos State we want to teach our school? We want to let the student know Arabic too, because Arabic is part of us. And there are some people now going to go look for a job in other countries like Egypt or Sudan, or they can become an ambassador there. Should they know a little bit of Arabic? Should they learn the Arabic? That the curriculum that's been provided in Lagos State to let the student learn Arabic and other languages. It is the curriculum that for Lagos State to say, I want it in my school, we want the curriculum of Swahili to be taught. Should then somebody know Swahili, he may be compete in East Africa countries to become an ambassador or do his job or do other things in Swahili. That's a curriculum. So let's separate curriculum from education system. And what we're asking is not about education system. We're asking the curriculum. Is in the Lagos State now to prevent that the girl are not going to be getting pregnant or the boy not going to go to school and try to look for the girl in the school and then after pregnant, they run away. Is there any curriculum provided in Lagos State? Is it going to provide a curriculum that teach the children the sex education? Is there any curriculum going to teach the student to learn Arabic? Is there any curriculum going to teach a student to learn Dinka language in the school? Is there any curriculum going to let the student learn any other dialogues or lesson or any technical school that they can learn in school? Should you drop out? What are you going to drop out of in the school? Let's say the computer system or any other thing. That's what we were asking, but we confused them until now. The candidate has gone. That's only my question. Should I have come early, I would have told them. The curriculum that we are asking is that just brief to us. In the school curriculum you guys going to provide, is there any sex education going to be provided to prevent all this such thing? Kid to get pregnant and get dropped out, like use condom, use of what type of medication that they can use not to get pregnant while they are at school, or should they prevent themselves having no sex at school? That's the part of curriculum can be provided by school or can be provided by the state and be implemented in school to be taught. That's my question, and I rest my what I was asking. But just for that confusion, that's why I was trying to clarify to Mr. Majur.
Thank you. That's very good. Thank you, brother Dude. Yes, that's good. Thank you for coming in for your first time, and you always welcome to this platform to discuss this topic. These are very good topics, so we can discuss, because education in South Sudan is one of the field that we need to focus on and talk, because when I visit some of the schools, especially when I talk about Europe in Lake State, I go when I see the teachers instead of educating, like speaking, like what they do, the literacy to the student. Some of the teachers, they can speak in a 12 language. In the class, there are none at what that they don't speak a 12 language, but the teachers speak in Tongatu. You see, and this is the real challenge, because what about other kids that speak in that language? And this is the reason why I bring up Majuris here, and that's one of the things Majur, because those things need to be changed in the school system in Lake State, because if the education is, if teachers, they are teaching the student class, they have to use one language. If it is English, they have to use that, because the English is a international language, and those are the that's what taught in. But if teachers can go and lecture the student in Dinka language, for example, or in Tonga, for example, another language, and the education, and in class there are different students from different tribe or in other clan that they don't speak the language. So instead of using one language, which is English, so that, and that's very important. 3 things: reading, writing, and speaking. These are 3 things very important in education. And these are the 3 things the teachers can taught their student. Let the student know how to read and write. Let the student know how to speak. And let the student know how to read, reading. These are the things. This is a very challenging, because when I see a lot of students are finish their primary 8, they don't speak English well, Also, they don't speak, they don't read that well. And that's because the system is not set up correct. So, Brother Major, go ahead. Go ahead, Duria. Major, you say you have okay.
Just 1 minute, yeah. More importantly, Madit, the problem is this: like, this is one of the questions we always ask. I see a lot of Sudanese. We always ask when we come in terms of education. The first question always everybody discusses is asking the people. Hey, what if the girl get pregnant in school? That should not be asked. That's not the question we need to ask. It is part of the curriculum that we need to ask, and we want to hear from whoever going to answer. That's why we say, hey, what are the curriculum at the school? Then whoever responsible or whoever the Minister of Education should say, according to prevent that inside the curriculum, it should say, this is what we do in the school. We teach kids, we teach students the sex education, because in America or in other countries where pregnancy is not something that has to be discussed, it is included in the curriculum that the kids, the students are taught, this is how you have to prevent yourself to finish your education. Either a boy or a girl, they have to prevent themselves. There is a preventative method that is taught in the school. Then should one of them, Dagazian, Masalan, Lo Dagas, to be pregnant, then that student is subject to be expelled. Is subject to be expelled at school. If the girl is found pregnant, she's going to be expelled from school. If the boy is the boy that commit that kind of crime should then be expelled from school, and that's why we always want to know about the curriculum. That's it.
Abraham.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, Emmanuel, can you? Yes,
yeah,
Emmanuel,
I think
can you hear us?
You have to mute some other people because there's too much echo.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done, Madit.
Okay, go ahead.
You can mute me now. Mute me now, Madit.
Okay, now I mute them. Go ahead, Emmanuel Major. It's your turn now.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Because we've been having problem with we've been having problem with the network.
Yes.
Yeah, when I was disagreeing with my brother, Dr. Ding before, it was on this question that we cannot ask our brother Duriai based on the curriculum, but there is inspiration to go and change the system. What does he have in mind to go and put in place a good system of education? And that's what we are looking at. Because when we talk about the curriculum, you cannot create a curriculum. A curriculum can be created by the Ministry of Higher Education. That's what I was talking about. But what I can ask him in particular, we have issues to do with education now on grassroots. Girls are not going to school, and that's called affirmative action. Because of the early marriage, because of so many issues, and even now boys also, they need affirmative action because they're being taken to cattle camps to go and rear cattle. And this is taking us back in terms of education. So what are the plans that we have in place? That's what I wanted to ask before. The change that we can bring to make sure that our people go back to, go to school, like in other countries. This is what we are looking at. And then when you come at that level, when all the children go to school, and then the matter of curriculum later on, the system that they will adopt, the system that South Sudan as whole is using, is what they will adopt. But basically, or primarily, we are looking at your motivation or your enthusiasm the things that we are going to do to make sure that education is implemented at the grassroots, at the state level. So these are the things that I was looking at, not at the curriculum. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, brother Imam. Yes, you are right, because education is in a grassroots level. They need a lot, because yes, of course, he cannot develop the curriculum, but the source can, like education, the Minister of Education, they can develop the new curriculum. Meanwhile, yes, the education in grassroots is very important, and this can prevent. Like especially what you mentioned, and this is girl education is very important, and South Sudan is lack of that, because we need, like, if you can see the percentage, the boy and the girls, so the girls are very low, and that thing need the education is going to be, and that government Ministry of Education need to work on that, because, and also too, it's not even Ministry of Education, parents need to be educated, that to allow their girls to go to school. Because even though, as you know, I'm building a school now in the grassroots level in the village, but there's no education. When I started that school, there was no education. There's no any even classroom, nothing there. And that's where we can do that. If we put, like, educate our people, we need to take the school to them. Instead they can travel far distant, come to Jeru, for example, or go to Yang or any other places. Why don't we put the education there, like bring education to them? And then encourage, educate a parent that how important education is, so to allow their girls to go to school. So that is important. Do something in Duriai, you can mute yourself.
Unmute me.
Okay.
Thank you, Madid, for coming up, or let me coming back again. And Major, yes, what Major is asking, we were just trying to put things together in the right way we will both understand, and basically not for us, it's for whoever said is a candidate. And this question would also go to every Minister of Education in South Sudan. When it comes to the question we ask them, hey, what should we do to let the girl go to school? I don't think that question alone can be a burden of the Minister of Education alone. Is the burden of the governors. Because first of all, could kids go to school while there are no school? Like you, Madid, you said you're building a school in the village. What allowed, now after you building that school in your village, it allows a lot of girls to go to the school because they can see it. They see it is very short distance for them to travel. And we already know in South Sudan, girls, the way the boys and the girls are not the same. If there is any distance required to travel to go to a certain school, it would only be boys that would make it. Me, if I'm there in South Sudan, I would not allow my girl to travel like where the distance. I would not allow my girl to travel those distance to go to attend that school. I would say no. My girl may have some circumstance on the way. Other boys going to meet her on the way, and whatever problem that may occur, I would try to prevent that. Saying that no, I'm not going to allow my girl to travel my daughter to travel this distance for school, unless if the school is close by, then I'll let the kids go in there. So that question, when we say, why don't we allow girls to go to school? Is there any girls that are allowed? Nobody, no Minister of Education ever says there are no girls need to come to school. It is the responsibility of the parents. And the responsibility of the parent to let the girl go to school, have to assure that there is a school nearby where they can allow their kid to go. Like what you have done in your village is an example. It is an example that those kids who could have not even traveled to go to Europe to study, by the distance, you provide the school close to them. Now it allowed them that they can go to school nearby, and then everybody can allow their child, even a girl or a boy, a small kid, they can attend that school. And that's the only question we need, Minister of Education, or not just Minister of Education, the whole government, including every minister, to say, hey, what type of school are you guys going to provide? Are we not going to have more primary school before we have more high school? Are we not going to have more high school before we have more colleges? Then they could put the system, said, okay, in this village, we're going to put this primary school. In this village, we're going to put high school there because it has a primary school already. In this area, we're going to put college because there's a lot of high school around it. Because when all these high school students graduate, they must attend some college. When all these primary school graduate, they must then attend any high school. That's the education system that we need to ask all the ministers. It could not be just somebody who is running for Ministry of Education. It could be the question that bind everybody in the government, especially in every certain state. Should that candidate come back, I don't know his name, then we should ask him, what are your plans? Being a Minister of Education in Lagos State, what are your plans? Did you put the map of where to put the primaries, where to build some high school, and where in the future you may then build a college? These are the questions that we should ask. If we should ask them, should we ask him, hey, why the girls don't go to school? That's not his responsibility. It is the responsibility of the parent who sees that there is a long distance and they don't want this girl to go to school. We should not ask them again, hey, what if the girl gets pregnant in school? That's not his responsibility. It is the responsibility of the school to provide the lesson that prevent kids not to be pregnant in a school. Should they get pregnant, then they get expelled out. So we should know what are the right questions we need to ask our candidates so they can implement it. So they can put in their mind, this is the jobs they are coming in to do. So I'm done.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. Then come back.
Okay, thank you, Dudia. You actually put exactly what we're looking for here and what we are supposed to be focused on. So I appreciate that. That's what we have to add into. Let's not put gender discrimination as to be a priority topic here. When you talk about a separate gender, only the goal of education is no child left behind. That's only what we can use.
Yeah, that's true.
But when we talk, the girls are not going to school, the boys are going to school, that's a gender discrimination. It will not help. So, and that cannot improve our education system. As my brother put exactly what it is, it's the parent responsibility. I have daughters and I have boys. All of them, nobody I want to left behind, not to go to school. That's my responsibility. I have to be a proactive as a parent. So that's my job, and let's try not to put things on a topic. Sometimes we make it out of point. I know all of us, we South Sudanese, especially we Sudanese, we look for hidden assumptions sometimes. The hidden assumption we cannot even define, we cannot find a solution for it. The main reason and the purpose that we are here today is the candidate who intend to run for that position. So when he's running for that position, we try to find out what are his target goal and what area. That was my first question I was asking. What areas? Because he live in South Sudan, so he know actually what is targeting in education system that he live in. So there are some areas that he want to improve. When he become a minister of education, and the section activities in school in the country, those are not actually the minister of education role. Those have to be coming from the lawmakers. They have to put it in law.
Okay, then come in your pros. Anyway, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Then thank you, brother Emmanuel Mujuru and Dud Yai for coming in. I hope our guest should be here. But simply his network, I tried to call him back. Network over there in Juba is still 4, so I cannot able to bring it in. So, but he said thank you guys for a wonderful interview and input. So he will watch. He's watching now, so it's good. He will take those questions to him. Emmanuel Mujuru, let me give you your last word so we can close up the show. Emmanuel, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, brother. I've been having issues with the network.
Okay, give us your last word. I'm about to close the show.
Okay.
Yeah, give us your last word. I'm about to close the show.
My last word to our brother is that he has been talking very well, and I wish him all the best. And I hope the people also are listening. The people in Juba or in Fiwalaya, they are listening to his words. He has actually been able to elaborate more because what we are looking at is how we can build up education at the grassroots level, and he actually talked about it very well. I wish him all the best. And the last question that I was going to ask him is that the mechanism that he's going to use in order to implement those ideologies that he's talking about, I mean the programs that he's talking about, but it's too late since we are closing up, but he should think about, taking girl to his school and all this is a general term. But to come in detail, how he is going to do it, the implementation mechanism, is what I was going to ask him. But now the time is gone, so let him go and think about it.
Yeah, that his network is bad. He's kind of like 2 minutes time, and he could able to come in. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Brother Manuel. Thank you, Brother Judy. Give me your.
Can I just finish? I'm about to go. I'm going to work.
Yeah, I will give you. You are the last one. Yeah, Judy, I'll give you your last one.
Okay. Go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, Madita, I think we have done at this point. My last question, it would be just like a repetition. Should that minister going to listen to this, all the questions being produced? I need to ask him, or you may ask him, anybody would ask him, does he have a slogan says, like Mr. Ding Kamis already said, does he have a slogan says, no child left behind, every child should go to school? Should he say yes? Then we would ask him. If you say no, if you have a slogan says, no child should be left behind, every child should go to school, then if you say yes, we would say, do you have enough school in Lagos State, in every village? Because that's the only thing that would allow kids to attend school, because there is no transportation at the school in South Sudan now. The only way to prevent that and the only way to make the slogan right, no child left behind, then we should make sure, every minister should make sure he has put the roadmap, the education map, what village you need to put a primary school, what village you need to put a high school, what village, where you need to locate the college later in the future. Should he knows all these things, then the slogan of no child left behind going to school should be appropriate. But if he just said, yes, we are working, no child left behind in school, and there is no budget, there's no bill, there's no locations that he have marked, that he have put in his mind, he's going to put a school and he's going to build primary school, then that's mean he's lying.
Thank you, Brother Dude, for your first time for coming in. Please, whatever you feel as live, feel free to come in. To contribute very wonderful things. Thank you for coming in. Then Kamis, your last word.
Thank you one more again, and my brother Emmanuel Majur, man, you've been in trouble today. I feel sorry for you too because you've been fighting with the network back and
Yeah.
forth. So I hope next time we will have a better conductive discussion.
And
And
well,
the network is driving you crazy now. So sorry for that. And we will next time you will make more progress. My last point to the candidate is all of them. The other people that are running with him. Um, now we're not actually trying to focus. The country is in mess, and whoever is coming there to take responsibility is going to be a lot of work. So just try to have a clear vision. What you have, the slogan that you actually have. What are you going to change within the area that you are going to um, provide the service to them? That's what I can say. And let's give them a time. Maybe he's going to come back, and this guy is going to become back smart next time than today, because we already produced some answers for him, and it will be more
that's true.
productive for his when he come back to present himself. So, and it's very good, my brother Dudi. I'm so happy. Um, let's not try to be shy away to one another. We cannot make change. Um, yeah, the social media, there are some people that make it worse. People are scared of that are actually scared people off. But there are some people that are actually um, improving the life and they're changing life through the social media. Like this discussion and this social media of and Lake State, we've been trying to communicate some effective ideas sometime here, and we will always going through. I would encourage you. It's very impressive today. The way you narrated the our education system. Um, I really feel happy with it. And let's keep up. Let's keep educating ourselves, educating our people. We can just give them education overnight, but it needs us to have some step one by one. Uh, so the curriculum, the South Sudan, we have Arabic, we have English. Mainly, if you go to Central Equatoria, Western Equatoria, Eastern Equatoria, most of them they are Arabic speakers. They speak Arabic. Even though you go there, you speak English, nobody can hear you what you're saying. So, and this thing, it needs some time to be put together. We are blessed with have two national languages that are going to be taught in the country, which is fine. To me, I'm happy with that. There's nothing wrong with the language, but there's something wrong with the way we present it. That's only what I see the problem. So I don't have to take that much, Brad Madik and Lake State. You guys keep your good work. Keep it on. There's nothing we can change without speaking up, without come together and share the ideas and make sure if your idea is not somebody opposite today, it's not the end of the day, it's not end of the world. Some tomorrow you will have the same idea. Somebody will your idea will be uh, your brother will accept your idea and is going to agree with you. We disagree and agree. So all of them goes together. I appreciate that. And you people of Lagos State, you are changing South Sudan. Like I said yesterday, all the ministers, the government officials, they all of them they are educated in Rumbek. So that's what you guys doing right now. Your social media is making a progress. So we don't. To me, I don't really care whoever come here and say what. We can just can talk politely, try to take that anger away because we are actually warriors. So Sudanese, We all warriors. We mix education with other things and like traditional things. So we're not actually going to shy away. We're not going to back up, but let's try to find some progress little by little. I have to stop from there. Thank you, everybody, my brothers.
Thank you, brother Dinkalis, and thank you, brother Duriyai, for coming again. I will appreciate have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, brother Emmanuel Majuran, our guest, Gabriel Thon Thon. Next time, if the network is good, we will bring him back again. So thank you, gentlemen. Have a wonderful Sunday.
Thank you too.
Yeah, same.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, bye. Bye. Thank you, our guests, our viewers for watching in. Have a wonderful blessing Sunday. Thank you guys for watching. Good night.